What's happening, everyone? My name's Anthony Santana, and welcome back to The Letter. Now, in the previous episode, we finished up the mansion, and we were on our way over to the cinema to watch, I think his name was Zach? To watch his new film. So, let's get to it. A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when Ash and I arrived. The LIFT, or L-I-F-T, I guess, Fest, short for Luxburn Independent Film and Theater Festival. Okay, that's just gotta be LIFT. Attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year is no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break on the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. I did, back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard. Once, early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach!
Hey, there he is.
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us, taking careful steps in a significant effort to make himself smaller so as to not bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting, and...
Sup, Z-Man, my main man. What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
Talk about awkward. The music's gonna pause for a bit. Let me just do this. And this. That's good. Yeah, talk about a little awkward there. Yeah, the awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and only then do I become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be.
Yo, stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
Shut down. There's fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'll likely be offended, but years of friendship and familiarity have made those two harmless to the other's ears. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Are they like a dynamic duo or something in their past?
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Yep, sounds like a typical dynamic duo.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes, and then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
Alright. Had to turn down my brightness. It's a story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Becca and I have never really found out the real deal. Found out the real deal is with those adventurers, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when he eventually turns his attention on me.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
Yes, sir.
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning.
Oh, shoot. No, didn't mean to do that. How do I get out of that? There we go. Alright. Okay, a bit sick, up and went to work this morning. Wrong button.
You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
Is that so? And it's true. They've known each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends and all. Ah, okay. Who knows, she might have a little crush on him, but he doesn't know about it. he might actually have a crush on Bella instead. And, what's her name doesn't know about it.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie.
Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
And there she is. Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca, you're just in time.
I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my face to keep my head still. She must have heard from Rose. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face.
How are you? Are you alright?
Why wouldn't I be?
Rose called me earlier.
Yeah, thought so. Those 4 words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have my family living close by and the only other relative I have works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose will call her. I push Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about.
She's talking about that little, fainting incident.
How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him, in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the said area. I did my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
Minor. Sure.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it.
Come on, let her be the motherly figure she wants to be.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her earlier.
Ash, now's not the time.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
He's
I'm
right.
sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is. A hint of jealousy. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
No, I think that is a hint of jealousy in her tone of voice.
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time. Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point.
I hope by not really, he's not, like, saying his movie's not worth watching. Well, I mean, okay, maybe for him, yeah, he would say his movie's not worth watching in place of making sure a friend is, well.
In the end, I think it's your call.
But, I mean, I would watch the movie. I wouldn't miss the premiere if I had my head bumped like Bella.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. We're just moving it on a different day so we can have a medical professional take a look at you.
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks. Something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either.
Alright, so we're all 50-50. Zach and, crap, what the hell is her name? I keep forgetting it. Journal. Profiles. Rebecca. What? Well, it is Rebecca. Anyways, Zach and Rebecca want to take her to the hospital. Ash and Bella want to watch the premiere.
Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not.
Ah, okay. So he's in
But
the
if
middle.
she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Dude, Do I get a say in this?
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Rebecca voices it out. When, at last, she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug. Aw.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Oh no. She does feel a bit jealous.
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
If you say so.
She is a little jealous.
Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
Now, Bella, do not pull out the letter. I pull myself off from Becca to get my wallet for my bag, and...
What's this?
Yep, she got the letter. Good job, Rebecca. Not Rebecca, Isabella. It's already in Ash's hands before I even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
Good job.
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
Just say it's trash. I tried to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. Really? I've never been particularly sensitive with my own height, but right now I really wish I have that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay. Now I'm curious.
Good job.
I'm telling you it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They are still shaking, but I hang on to it regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone, please help. Or just please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else.
Just say it's trash.
Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Hey, coincides with the achievement name. Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see. I don't want to see. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way.
It's not a prank.
That's probably not the best way to put it as well. It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
Yeah, now you got them all worried. And probably thinking you're crazy.
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Why not both?
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Typically I don't believe in this stuff, but even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
Well, not everything haunting happens during the night.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit you're talking about is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
Jesus, her image. Wow.
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
Ouch.
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Oh. Without another word, I snatch the letter out of Ash's hand and stuff it back in my bag, with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost a sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. Yeah, sounds like your day can't go any worse. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Well, there's that too. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group...
Guys!
Finally, Zach steps in. He's been quiet that whole time. Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home. And hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. I was about to say that. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, he has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. Oh, that's cool. He never does that. Oh, well. It really matters to him then, this get-together. Becca too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempt to lighten things up or Ash's and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they did. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless. So careless. Maybe leaving is a better decision for all of us. Why can't the decision be just go to the hospital or something? If I go home, that's like minus points for everybody. If I stay for the movie, that's plus points for everybody. Is there no hospital option, really? Alright, well, I'll stay for the movie. Any other day, I'll excuse myself and go straight home. How's the relationships looking? Zachary's gone up, good. Rebecca's gone down, of course. Ashton's gone up. Oh well. But this is something special to Zach. Something he worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better. Might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if that thing in the attic follows me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe, if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened. They'll listen to me? There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Alright, that's the Isabella I know.
And Rebecca, disappointment face in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
3, 2, 1. There we go. This time, I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Stupid Ash. Being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one.
Aw, don't cry.
Oh, Ash. You really are an asshole, you know?
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
Eh, I can live with that.
That too. If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Yeah, clearly Becca's not amused. Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks at that, the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen at school after I left? Is she having a bad day today, too? I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food, I promise.
But you'll miss it.
Aw, he directed it. Yeah, he won't miss it. He knows the film already.
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some still waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Oh, so it's that kind of movie. About the history, huh? Well, I'm gonna assume the conversation has nothing to do with the film.
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. Yeah, I knew it. To be fair, Zach's the one who brought it up again. In his own movie's premiere. Good job, Zach. Now, the film's just serving as a background noise, while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone else inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash, of course. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'll all get kicked out for sure. Though, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I think we did something that offended her earlier. Did we? Yeah, we didn't go home. That's what happened.
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge.
Yeah, he's trying to make that whole incident sound reasonable.
If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
Yeah, you don't want to.
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
He's got a point.
Rose does the first floor tour.
Right. In America, the first floor would be the second floor. Ground floor is first floor.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
Yeah, me neither. Especially if it followed you downstairs.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Centuries. Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
Well, hopefully somebody has connections.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
It's worth a shot.
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
There we go. Zach has some really good contacts.
You do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There he goes again. There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. What are glowers? This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Good job.
Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the moment of her name, at the mention of her
What?
name.
Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, but since Scaredy Cat here mentioned curses, not that I'm saying this is one because that's nigh improbable, you'd probably benefit more from someone like Andrew. The stuff you're saying is still really hard to believe, but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house.
Okay, reasonable.
He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. At best, he'll let you see things from a different perspective, and probably put your fears to rest, since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too. However, what Zach has also suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Really? Granted, they don't believe me, and they're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. Very true. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
Oh, do I get the choice?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
I'm more of the logical person, so let's meet with the professor. I mean, of course, I still believe in supernatural stuff, but I swing more towards logic.
I'll think about it, but if ever, I'd like to give talking to Andrew a try.
Alright, let's see the relationship. Hopefully, Zach's did not go down. Okay, just Ashton's went up. Okay, good.
Is that okay? Won't he have other things to do?
We can set an appointment, give him a call maybe a week in advance.
He is a bit busy, but he'll make time for me. He's my go-to person when I'm stuck in something.
There we go.
He won't mind if I bring a friend with me this time.
If you're sure.
I guess that settles it then.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it, yet you're not even paying attention yourselves.
Becca, hush, you're being loud.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this.
Holy shit, choking on my drink. Alright, I'm good. Alright, note to self, don't drink with my head turned to the side like that ever again.
The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one who she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting the way she is now, there's a big chance something's nagging her. We really need to talk. Yeah, that would be a good idea. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind only you can share with people you're at most ease with. What? Most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Got a new entry in our journal. Let's see, timeline, okay. Let's go to that. Next. Next. There it is. Film festival. Okay, cool. Not really important. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people. Those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid too. At one point, back when I was new, and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I cross to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Nah, who knows? Well, he never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep, looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to his friend's frustration. Although he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier.
Oh no!
Huh?
Yeah, now's a good time to go to the hospital. Or home. A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening. Breathing, becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
Yeah, now's a good time to go either home with Isabella or to a hospital. But thank goodness Rebecca snapped her out of it. At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmurs gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
Well, at least she can shrug that off as normal. I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street. Uh-oh. Where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be peering at me. Nothing. There's only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked our ride home. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
So you got some other time?
Yeah, see ya!
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what will help me sleep tonight, what will give back the normalcy, then so be it. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders are aching from me having fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. I can see Rebecca's mention in the first episode about all those cup noodles. Also, that underwear right below the TV. Interesting color choice. I mean, it's like a dark pink, almost a purple actually. It's not that bad. Also, cute pictures. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window, and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxburn, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone. The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to. Now what you need is a boyfriend. Or a girlfriend if you swing that way.
What time is it?
Looking at the clock, it is 5 a.m. and already sunrise. Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Towel? Where's my towel?
What kind of... what? How is 5 a.m. Oversleep in the mortgage industry? What? I mean, unless she takes forever to get ready. Admittedly, it's a weekend, and as an unspoken rule, that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh lord. 1 box of donuts as peace offerings won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore it or answer it. What if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss. Ah, sheesh. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. The caller ID reads Mama.
Huh?
At around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now. Oh.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. I mean, who knows, maybe Rose passed on, or not Rose, Rebecca. Yeah, maybe Rebecca, like, texted the parents, letting them know that something's up with her. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Grace?
Mama, I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
Hang on, Grace? Profile. Ah, Maria Isabel Grace Cruz Santos. Okay, that explains.
We're good, we're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
Well, congrats to him. There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. Oh. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Oh, miscommunication there. Odds are, Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. I'm guessing that's her older brother? Again. Yeah, it has to be. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own and, well... 8? Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt. Oh, that sucks.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas.
Oh, how nice.
How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
Damn, she's got a lot of family.
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach, and from the way Mama's voice hitches, she also doesn't want to bring it up. Oh.
Papa... Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds.
Damn. That's what suddenly being put out of the workforce does to you.
But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well.
Or maybe he is sick and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. Okay, yeah, he seems to be in some kind of depression then. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Okay, sickness. Now, the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Oh. Although Mama makes it a little, accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government, because the health insurance there barely covers anything. Oh.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I think the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
I hope they at least research, like, what they can care for, how they treat the patients, more importantly.
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors.
Costs too much, huh?
But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa.
Well, at least she's honest.
And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie, yet look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition for the next semester, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Oh. Kailan ka uwi? Okay, I don't know what language that is. What languages are even available in this game? I'm curious. Doesn't even say, does it? No, it doesn't. When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the sole person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile, though. Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end, the sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
Love you too, Mama.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Okay, that's a big family. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away from my head, the thoughts beginning to swim inside. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Good girl. With that high spirit and attitude, you're gonna get there. Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from the phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say anything, or it's just Rose asking where the hell are you.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Good job.
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Uh-oh.
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down?
Did the mansion get sold?
Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
Ooh, so much excitement. There's the telltale din of several feet shuffling against a wooden floor and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone to my bed and finish my shower in record time. I make it to the office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Looksburn office, greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees?
Damn!
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice!
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. Oh, that sucks. I hear they're still trying to get hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload have been shifted to all available staff, so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. But yeah, that's actually a good thing. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is, indeed, a bit worrisome. Oh. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork into my hand without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement! Yay, they did it! Rose simply gestures her thumb towards our visitor lounge, and when I tilt my head in question, there, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing. They got the sale!
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve. Although her eyes are alight. with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed. Yet, documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with the foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house.
That is true, but damage control? Did one of the older women, like, break a vase or something?
I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madame Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
Wow.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
I mean, she bought it at full price, no negotiation.
They're paying 15%
Oh.
higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
Wow, 15% higher. That's actually incredible. I mean, if the mansion's worth $2 million, just 10% would be like, shit, basic math. Either 20,000. I think it is 20,000. Has to be 20,000. No, 200,000, wouldn't it? Fuck it. I don't know math.
I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front too.
Really? Now that's impressive.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Okay.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Good girl. Don't they have better things to spend money on? Well, that's questionable. I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive a hefty commission, after all. Nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having the boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood, much to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one will typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Well, at least she cares, although maybe it would have been better not to mention that day.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
But it's nice to know. I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. Shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process that goes into contracts like these. Ah, so they purchased multiple properties in the past. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about why they are buying, or he simply doesn't finds such paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
It sure does.
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Isabella.
We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps. Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Well, you can add that yourself, or not yourself, but maybe hire somebody to add that in for you.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope.
That's usually the amount of time it takes.
We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
Oh yeah.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
It would be a nice little thing to brag about, being a rich couple and pretty much decorating an entire house themselves.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us. Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and wings, a finger raised to her lip demanding our silence. Nah, really?
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
That's not necessary. They're already gonna get a good cut from the payment.
Did I mention we reward our people generously?
Oh jeez, how do you turn that down?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
Yeah, how do you turn that down after she says that?
Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. I'm gonna assume they also took the extra bonus money. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents will kill to have clients like them. Yeah. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds. Just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Yeah, don't put that on your resume if you ever look for another job. Sure, the commission is big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from the instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal has been closed. Much to my sanity's relief. But knowing something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something.
Well, certainly.
So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Huge, I tell you. Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised.
Damn! They're certainly going to be rolling in the dough.
What are you going to do with it?
Send it home. At least part of it. Most of it.
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
No, not all of it.
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ears as though she's about to share a big secret. Let me guess. Big company dinner.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
Close enough.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Maybe.
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one.
A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
There you go. That's good enough.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of the BRC's top agents, regardless of how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Oh, that's what sucks, having to leave school. Yet, out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further. But perhaps it is where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass by because of the circumstances we're in. That's true.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned.
Oh, really?
Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
Oh. Did he visit the mansion? I mean, yeah, he visited the mansion, Isabella just said, but did he see that ghost?
I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a casual wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one can consider taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch, well, now you no longer have to do that for a while. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. Yeah, might as well. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, can't be reached. All my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here, today. Gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We've agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I usually frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. I'm never saying no to free stuff. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Who knows, now that I'm thinking, maybe Ash is visiting the professor right now, and that's why he can't answer the call, although it would have been better if he did answer the call, and maybe told Isabella to head there immediately. Anyways, much like the small building's facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the wall. Would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and is engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. Also, that giant vertical portrait in the back wall, is that a cat or a rabbit? Let's carry on. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same thing when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of different interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not possible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened?
The deal's done.
I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. I'm still trying to find the proper words for this. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. Alright. But today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right? Yeah, you're not wrong.
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting our orders down looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves without a comment. Well, if you're regulars at a restaurant and you order the cheapest thing and then you suddenly get the most expensive thing, it would be surprised too. Becca furrows her brows in consternation, her mouth full halfway open, ready to let loose a string of reprimands.
Don't worry, it's my treat.
The glare Becca sends me reminds me of the one I got from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 summers ago. 18 years ago? Damn! Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mum. A small, sheepish grin is enough to dissolve that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. What do you mean that isn't fancy? Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least, that's what the daily specials board says. Never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since they price whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You know, that's one of the things I'm gonna miss when I move to Japan. The portions, depending on the restaurant, are gonna be a lot smaller than I'm used to. A lot smaller. But I'm pretty sure I can handle a big old bowl of ramen.
You're always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
She was in a rush, she had a reason.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Ah, of course. The house hasn't been sold for centuries, so a once-in-a-century thing. Good one there. My instant noodle days are over. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate.
Okay, let me do that again.
Let's check the relationships. With Becca, did it go up? I think it went up like halfway back to the line. With Zach's, it went up, I'm assuming? At least a little bit?
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer puzzlement to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
For a while. A long while.
Wow, seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anslem Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
That's
the one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh. Oh, wow. That's... wow.
Is she also thinking, no, she doesn't believe in that supernatural stuff. She lets out an audible hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Does she think we won't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth, one after another, before I can stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you.
It's just hard to believe a house with such a history could be sold. Is that it?
But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment, and now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
All possible, but highly doubtful.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
Doubt it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more likely. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'll only fret.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently.
Someone who really wants the house.
It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
Well, kinda didn't have much of a choice.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
Oh jeez. And don't say you even tried to show them the letter. That just happened to come out of your bag.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
Really? That's not how you sounded yesterday. Or, not yet. Yeah, the whatever.
Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding! Don't go all pouty on me again! In all seriousness, though, I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to fully smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange having to talk about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laughter here, a playful jab there. Most of it is spent on catching up on the others' new projects or whatever keeps us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic today. Aw. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Oh, she noticed.
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
Oh, the reviews for his movie came out poorly. A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately, Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough for an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a momentary shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
Yeah, thought so.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
You pretty much have all the information you need. Becca's saying reviews, Zach saying he's bummed out. It should be obvious at this point.
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. At the end of the day, it's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
And that's why I don't really like reviews. From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down on as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Oh, I was wondering what that red bar was for. Damn.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something.
No. Don't let one loss be the defeat of you.
If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
No. Just push yourself to do harder. You'll get there.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
Well, if it's experimental, then you do you then.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I haven't even noticed when I've risen from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher will at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. Oh, I bet she is. I don't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He of all people should know.
If you give up now, how do you know you won't make a name for yourself creating films in the future? It's just a review.
Yeah.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Well, screw them. I don't care about well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining in this situation? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I have not read what those people wrote against his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know. After all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Ah.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There is no face at all. Only a poor imitation of a puppy dog's eyes, if you can call it that one.
You promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys.
But that's the spirit, Zach.
Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Awards night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. I've still got time. I can still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
Cool. She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about how the awful state of Luxburn streets betraying her cheerful greeting. What? I read that wrong. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next subject of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
Isn't that always the case? When she has finally ran out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the Wright's interior designer in her stead, and...
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye, thanks.
Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. Alright, I think I might end it here. I've been going on for about an hour 15. Let's just check the new journal entry and that'll be it. Okay, that's just pretty much summarizing the whole day so far. Alright, well, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me just save it before I mess something up. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.